Renie damage sucks, I think everybody know that, but in this video I'm going to talk about how you can actually boost a little her damage, even though that majority of the people actually think Renie is something like a support hero, and that's correct. I mean, she's having the double attack, but don't waste gems or gear until you actually understand the video. And we have to give her one weapon. King Blades is her only customizable damage dealing sword that actually matters. Now, obviously she's not going to be a captain, so we're not going to look over the captain spell of the Renie, but she's having a signature spell, which is there is some percentage chance for the next hero to enter in the double attack state and get points of might damage. Can go to 27. Obviously this spell is leveled up. At level 1 is going to be 1, at level 100 and something in 20 or 20 plus is going to be different. So yeah, this is something that you can actually see that I think by okay, that was only for the commander skill, but anyway, is giving this per chance to for the next hero to enter in the double attack and also getting some points of might damage. But this is not doing any kind of damage, this is pure support. So the place we have to search where Renie is going to become a better is actually the secondary spells she's having. But first we have to talk about the gear, and other gear doesn't just help. Most of the Renie gear adds sustain or utility, not a real damage. And yeah, if you check the gear that is going to be maybe good for her as a suggestion from the game, you're going to see that those rings, especially this one, is for other type of heroes. So the game just decided to put Renie as a support, but we're looking to get more damage from her. And my testing results actually end up to, you know, it is boosting, but the main damage is coming from the hero that is doing damage. That's why we're looking to boost somehow the Renie. And the thing you can actually go and do and use is going to be from the more skills. Actually get King's Blade. Now what King's Blade is doing is basically deals might damage to the enemy troop every 9 seconds, so it's turn-based. Damage is going to be 146%. Now this is a pretty decent damage, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, compared to the other one here, okay, it's basically close to the same, but yeah, here you can actually get some extra damage. Now Warrior's Hymn increase the next hero might by some points, might bonus, and critical strike rating by 10%. Heroes increase the next hero's might, but still this is again a booster. This is just a boosters, and you have a limitation over the critical strikes, and this is damage will be significantly increased when triggering a critical strike. Max critical strike rate 75%. So even if you give some critical strike rate, if you have heroes that is over this 75%, this is completely useless. This is completely useless, and yeah, 9 and 10% is a pretty decent one, but in the combos that you're going to use this hero, most likely you're not going to need that much critical rate. So, but still, you can actually go. It strongly depends how you build your synergy in the team. Obviously, Renie is a hero that can be matched up with marksmen and cavalry. She's part from the Wubu team. She's part from the Mulan team with maybe Bellevue and Mulan also. Wubu, Guanui. Now a lot of people are using Tiwa as a hero there, but Renie can actually replace Guanui at one point. Yeah, it's a little sad because Guanui is actually a hero from the how to say it, from the tavern, and you can get him easy, and you can maybe get him, if you get lucky, you can make him decent. But yeah, at the end of the day, some heroes are just one idea better from other ones. So King's Blade is going to give you that damage, and if you want more damage, you can also get Bloodthirst. Deals might damage to the enemy troop, damage rate might bonus, and recover your units with 66% might bonus. Pretty decent also. So it strongly depends in what kind of situation you're going to end up, and do you actually need a critical rate for your team. Obviously, if I want to go with Mulan, maybe I want to get some extra critical strike rate. Obviously, this spell is going to be good to be leveled up one idea, and the majority of the damage is going to come from Mulan. Mulan is absolutely crazy hero from point of damage. But if you want to go with Wubu, maybe it's going to be good to have more damage. And King's Blade is a spell that, you know, normally this too is used over the Renie, but I think King's Blade can actually support the damage outcome from the Renie. And Blade Scouts with her kit, it's the only sword that directly multiplies her burst potential. And I'm going to share with you one experience that I have is I actually buy this spell because, you know, I have a lot of conversation with different people also in the comments. So don't forget to leave your comment in the under the video so I can see some different opinions over this topic. But when I change on the King's Blade, I start killing more faster, and by killing more faster, the interesting thing here is when you kill more faster, you lose less troops. This is something that maybe people don't think that much. They're looking for some balance between the defense and the attack, which is completely fine. Some heroes are built for this type of thing. But if you go, and that's why this is one of the main reasons why in the season 1 Mulan was the crazy hero. It's just, she was just so squishy. Mulan was so squishy, but at the same time, the moment she touched your legion, the legion vanished. And I have a story with the Mulan. I think I said it in one of my first videos, where there was a Mulan on 20% HP, and I jump on her with my 2 legions, and she obliterated my 2 legions extremely fast. Now obviously the difference between tier 5 and tier 7 and Mulan was like 5-star. I mean, you know, it's making the difference, but at the end of the day, here we're talking about how we can actually increase the output and the damage of the Renie. And this hero can actually be paired with proper timing, and it can unlock a pretty decent combo for her synergy with her turn-based style. So as you can see, yeah, here we are talking about turn-based style because dealing might damage to the enemy troops every 9 seconds. Here we don't have this thing, is basically activational chance, which is 25%, but theirs is very nice spell also. But here we have turn-based, so this thing can somehow, you know, if you make the good synergy between the turn-based and the rest of the legion, because I'm not gonna lie, if we're talking about the cavalry, and I'm going to select legendary cavalry warriors, most likely we're going to speak about Wubu, and Wubu is not having turn-based stuffs here in the signature skill so far, if I remember right. Yeah. And from the extra spell, this is something that I actually get, and this is Armor Piercer. I want to do more damage just by ignoring more armor. After launching normal attack, deals my damage to the troop, damage rate, blah blah blah, increasing all enemy heroes' armor by 50. And the other spell that I'm using is Reaper Tiger. After launching normal attack, deals my damage and increase the hero's critical rate by 15%. That's why I'm saying that if you have a critical strike rate by 15%, that is going to get increased. In same time, your signature skill is increase the hero's critical strike rate by 25%. This is on level 40, and makes 25% is basically every fourth spell is going to do a critical, and makes all the hero skills deal critical strikes. This is also very nice. I think since Renie is something that is going to replace Guanui, we have to keep that thing in mind. In the season 2, you may actually use Guanui till you actually build your Renie, but at one point maybe it's going to be a good idea to be Wubu, Renie, and Attila. Maybe this is going to be a good option. And yeah, Guanui is maybe going to also increase the hero's critical strike rate by some percentage. Obviously, this can scale up. And this extra 10% that she's going to give for the next thing, uh, next spell, if I remember right, it's just not going to, it's not comparing good with the rest of the spells the other heroes are providing. I'm talking from point of a synergy. This warrior him increase the next hero might damage by 9 for 3 seconds. Heroes might damage and critical strike. Okay, this one is actually good one. Sorry about that. I was thinking it was hero, but it's hero, so this one is a good one. But anyway, for more damage, I think King Blade is going to be good, and activational chances every 9 seconds. Even though there is a lot of spells that is turn-based and the activation chance is something like maybe 6 seconds, 9 seconds. For me personally, it's a lot of time since, you know, for 9 seconds, half of your legion can be already gone. But at the end of the day, we're looking to make Renie do more damage. And I think one of the ways you can do it is just by getting King's Blade and, you know, boosting her damage output. And like, if you ever seen somebody blaming Renie for a lose, but actually was his build failure. So I guess this will for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to hit one like, subscribe. I wish you a great day and see you in the next video.